Kat. Welcome to Cat Calls. Today I'm calling Jubilee, MixPak DJ extraordinaire, Miami-based proficionado, flamenco fiend. And before that, in just a few minutes here, we're going to be talking to Cult for Good, a group that has been traveling the country, bringing supplies for homeless communities across the country. Yay! Hello, John Marco. Run by Elijah... Now my brain farted. Elijah Daniel and Jen Stein. Oh, thank you, Jamie. Yes, I have a little tropical theme behind me in honor of Jubilee, who is also from Miami, Florida. And bear with me today. I'm using Streamlabs OBS for Mac for the first time, and it's so cool. I actually have the chat next to me, so I don't have to look at my phone, which is what I was doing previously. But it's a new thing for me, so I might have a few little ticks along the way. As you can see, also is new, this little handy-dandy subscription goal and donation goal, because if I may say so quickly before we begin the show with Cults for Good, this takes up a lot of my time. And yes, I am a freelance journalist, and I'm so lucky to have work during this time. But I'm so in love with this project that I've started while in quarantine, and it does take up a lot of my time, and I'm putting resources into it, and I want this to be the best show possible. And in order to do that, it would be great if I could get a little bit of money back to continue making the show bigger and better. So if I could get a couple donations today, that would be amazing. I have a donation via PayPal right below the screen on my Twitch channel. You can also reach me on Venmo at CatSaysKill, and if you choose to subscribe, I will have some very cute emotes, I believe they're called in the Twitch community for you. Thank you, Jamie, for subscribing, by the way. One of my first subscribers. I really appreciate you. So, it's 420, smoke 'em if you got 'em, and we're going to join the Cult for Good. We're going to see what Elijah and Jen are up to. And just to give you guys a little bit of background, Elijah is a funny man, rapper. He just got a TikTok, kind of just an internet do-it-all man, viral sensation, if you will. And Jen is a longtime music manager who's been working in the electronic music community for years. That's how I've actually met Jen. And the two of them got together when they noticed that there was a community very much in need, and they started this Cult for Good, and they've handed out more than 500,000 supplies to communities in need. And they're going to tell us about what they've seen, how we can get involved in helping the mission, and why it's so important that we get supplies out to this community that doesn't have the same resources that we do. And I believe they're in the waiting room now. Hello? Oh, here we go. I am admitting... Is it working? Hello, guys. Are you there? I see you. Hey!
I'm singing it up.
All right. Yay! I believe it's working. Good.
I'm so happy about this. I've heard so many good things about it.
Oh, thank you. I don't know if you guys can see my background.
I can. You have, is that a Zoom background or is that a television background?
It's a television background.
On Zoom.
We make it work. It looks good on the stream. How are you guys doing today? Are you guys at home in LA?
Yeah, we're in.
I'm not awake yet, so me speaking words at this hour, you're really lucky.
Well, I appreciate it, Jen.
I'm like,
Hopefully we get some people to donate to the cause today.
Wait, yeah, and also, should we be signed on to Twitch right now too, or like?
You can if you'd like to, but if you're going to watch, just make sure that your volume is down so that it doesn't create an audio loop. But I would love to.
The cat calls.
Oh yeah, it's actually twitch.tv/catbine.
I know, but I like
it. Thank you. So as far as I understand it, Elijah, you were the one who first came up with the concept of Cult for Good, and Jen got involved to help get the vision off the ground. Can you tell me a little bit about what inspired you to get this together and when the idea came about?
Yeah, it originally had started just because I was looking for organizations that were helping the homeless in LA because I had heard that a lot of the shelters were closing down. A lot of my friends who worked with the homeless were saying that their shelters that they work with were having to close down type thing, or close their doors at least to new people. And
when was that you got that news?
That was a day before I started Cult for Good. So that was what. So I was looking for them and then couldn't find any. And I tweeted about it. I was like, hey, does anybody know of any charities that are on the streets right now, doing anything for the unsheltered people? And everybody was like, actually, no, I don't think anybody's doing anything for unsheltered communities other than the actual local communities and the local shelter outreach programs. So we just started putting it together. I started hitting up different brands and managers, kind of stuff that I who would be able to help me build out the project. And we within 30 minutes had a brand on board who just bought all the soap and everything, so that we had actual hygiene packs. And it started with just soap and water, and within a week grew to a massive list of supplies and everything. And I was like, shit. And I was like, this is not just more soap and water anymore.
Yeah.
And Jen was already running a mask initiative herself.
Yeah, well, and more so, literally when you tweeted about homelessness, on the same day I tweeted, it was right after Ultra got canceled, and I was like, all the most qualified, competent people, aka the people who run festivals, because we all know that crew do everything, want to work, can't work, and this is the time of year we're all in logistics mode, reverse advancing festivals. So I was like, okay, my first thing, I was like, all right, America sucks, South Korea did great.
Yeah.
So reached out to some tour managers, and we made calls, found out all their things, called the CDC, whatever, went and kind of just did the opposite. I was like, okay, we use festival venues and make triages. And then when I started talking to the heads of ERs, we weren't at that point yet. And they were like, the thing we're most concerned about is people on the street.
Yeah.
Because once it hits the homeless population, that is our entire capacity, because it'll spread so fast. And so then I saw what Elijah was doing. I texted him and I was like, yo.
Yeah. I remember that was one of the first thoughts I had as well. It was especially in California or places like Los Angeles or San Francisco, where the homeless community is so visible and there are so many of them, who's going to keep these people from getting coronavirus?
And I literally live it used to be 2 blocks from Skid Row. Now Skid Row has expanded past my apartment.
Wow.
So it's I had to walk to the pharmacy yesterday, and every normal person was not wearing a mask. Every homeless person I saw, they all had Cult masks, which was fucking awesome. But it's I have more anxiety walking around the block to pick up a prescription, and I can go home and shower. That's their home.
Yeah.
And I can see their tents from my shower. So it's
wow.
You already see it, or I see it. I think some people feel really removed from it, and it doesn't matter, and especially California has such a high level of homelessness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what supplies have you guys been able to gather, and what are you handing out to these communities? And I believe you get some of the supplies from venues that have been closed due to coronavirus.
Yeah. So originally, the soap water kind of was the original supplies, and they were bought from small minority-owned businesses, because that's kind of how I wanted to go about everything with it. So all the supplies that we were buying in the beginning, and the majority still that we're buying, I think it's 80% or more is from either small businesses or minority-owned businesses. So we've been able to kind of help out those communities as well. And so it started off with just soap and water, then expanded to menstrual hygiene products,
smart.
Dog food, cat food, baby diapers, formula, hand sanitizing wipes, like body wipes, dehydration pills that keep you hydrated.
Dehydration, not dehydration.
Yeah, no.
Rehydration.
Why you all be dehydrated?
Salt cubes. What else is in there? Lots of snacks, fruit snacks, kind of snack bars, waters, juices, and then like some first aid stuff and a mat.
Honestly, it sounds like a lot of these supplies would be great even after Corona to be handing out to these communities.
So,
that's what we kind of have been. That's what we're moving into. We registered as a 501c3 to continue this on forward. And Jen and I've been speaking to like the mayor's office and everything about like continuing it forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, after we had originally gotten those supplies, and Jen was on board, I was like, okay, you know how to. Like, I can't find water anywhere. I can't source any of that. And she immediately was like, okay, I know. I can find. Like, venues are shut down. Just immediately.
Yeah. So I literally like first it up because my whole thing is like, one, we can reallocate resources because like my whole thought is like all these festivals, you know, that I was supposed to be at in a week, they've already bought all their water, they bought their rider snacks, and now they're in a spot where they need income. So like, you know, if they can donate, they great. But like we've been getting from a lot of like smaller independent venues. So, you know, the first day Elijah and I talked, he's like, I need water. Like lot 613 dropped me off their entire water inventory, and like we bought it at cost. And, you know, she was like, wow, now I can pay my staff for this month.
That's awesome. That's such a smart idea.
Really, it's been really helpful to be able to have that aspect of it, as well as being able to keep all the small businesses going and having like even partners and things like that are donating portions.
Yeah.
Getting their businesses going still, no matter like what it is. So we've had like soap makers and like candle makers donating and like partnering.
The girl that messaged me that she was like, I would love to donate you CBD sanitizer. I'm like, oh my God, yes.
Right.
I got on the phone with her and she was like, I'm so happy you responded. Like, I was so scared to message you, like all this stuff. And
that's such a small business too. And she's
a fucking boss. She's fucking awesome. I've honestly used like 4 bottles myself.
Wow. What was her name? I don't know if I caught it. Her company?
Her name's Natasha. The company is The Secret Guardian. And we did like a little collab bottle, and like I sent her a design. The next day she repackaged it with our design. So we have like
called hand sanitizers.
Yeah, and anyone can buy them, and it's a 1-for-1. So like, for everyone that someone buys, she's just giving another one back to us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and there's 25% off. It's like very well priced sanitizer. Yeah. But I got on the phone with her. I was like, you know, I'm so grateful. I want to speak with you, and she has lived on the streets. And so, like, it meant so much to her, too. And she was like, I've been looking for someone helping the homeless during all this. And so I was like, from our packs, is there anything else missing? And she was like, not necessarily in LA, but, like, in other states, you know, little flashlights or little LED lights. So that's something that we're adding into. But it was really good to talk to someone who's had that experience, who, one, is being so generous. And then, two, like, you know, was able to be like, this is what people need.
Yeah, totally. It must be really encouraging in this time as well to see how people gather around this sort of initiative and create good.
Yeah, somebody was like asking us yesterday, like, what were the hurdles of it? And it was like, honestly, there weren't that many hurdles because like everybody kind of just has come together, and that's been like,
making sure me and Elijah are awake on the same hours and like up on time was really
that's our hurdle. But like everybody is making like just seeing everybody like come together as like at once and like donating resources or their time or their skills, no matter like what they are, graphic design. Everybody's out of work and everybody's like doing what, so like just being able to help whoever we can in their small like businesses that they do.
Yeah.
Has been insane.
And I know you guys aren't just going outside and handing out. Ooh, that's it?
That's yeah.
Sanitizer.
Oh, it looks great.
That's cute.
No, I know you guys aren't just going outside and handing out supplies to people on Skid Row in LA. You guys have traveled pretty far. You've gone to San Francisco, Las Vegas, Detroit. Can you tell me a little bit about that outreach that you guys have been doing?
For Detroit and Texas.
Oh, Texas too.
It's kind of like activating the touring network where I have people that have like advanced, major festivals. So I hit up like every tour manager and we have someone in like every state that was going to throw a festival this summer that are on board. So we've shipped that.
So basically for the states that were close to us that we're able to travel to, we kind of built out like a map for it. San Diego was the first one that we did. And then we did, like, after Los Angeles, we did San Diego, and then Jen and I went to Sacramento, San Francisco the next day. Then we did Las Vegas. We're planning to do Phoenix in a couple days, probably, I think. Let's say Thursday.
Yeah, we're just confirming with the venue, and I have a bunch of people, like, Elastic was in a huge shortage, and I live in the fashion district, and they're all getting excited. Like, it's dumb because they're the wholesalers to Joann's and Michael's and all these places that are sold out of materials. So there's like a few vendors that I know, and I texted, and like literally they'll open the gate 1 foot. So like they're cool with me because I can crawl under a 1 foot opening. And then like coming out with this, like they're like, "Can you carry this?" I'm like, "Look out."
You're like, "I will."
We've gotten over like 30,000 yards of elastic to people, and we have.
And that's what's been good about it, is like we've been able to do the cities close to us where we're able to actually go out on the streets, and then because of Jen's network, we've had such a good team of people that we've been able to set up to manage like packing, making sure everything is sanitary, keeping everything packed like in venues that are clean type thing. And being able to have them like employ their staff has been great. And so like each city going forward, we kind of have like teams being built out slowly. So we're not doing like kind of like I didn't want my fans volunteering type thing because like I don't want to bring in new people to that haven't been exposed or have been exposed or could be exposing their family. So working more with just like professional people who are already kind of out there and able to do it and competent.
Yeah.
So like someone who advances a lot, like Andrea Brown, which I'm sure a lot of people know, she like hit me up. So in Texas, like she got her antibody test, and I obviously trust her with anything. So she's doing it there in Ann Arbor, and Elijah's from Detroit too. So we got them packages, and it's going to like a bar that I worked at in college. I've known this person forever, and they're like bored. They can't have people, but they're doing like takeout orders, so they're there all day. So he has his entire staff packing the bags, and then we get them everything they need to go safely out there. And it's so nice. We've had so many people that are like, "I'd love to help you on the streets, but we also don't want to bring coronavirus to the streets."
Totally.
Yes, we're doing more like tested people, building groups of like like even our groups that we've gone out in major cities like LA and like San Francisco, we've only done groups of like and max is like 3 people at once, just because we want to keep it like kind of open and breathable and like safe for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And the third person is someone that lives with Elijah always, so it's like they are the only people that we've been exposed to.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you guys are in a unique position having traveled during this time. What do you see out there? How are these communities doing?
It's definitely taking a very big hit. I think LA is obviously the homeless populations in every city is in such a horrible state, but LA right now is just so bad. Skid Row is they're just busing people down there and dropping them off. They were policing them off of the streets in the beginning, which really pissed me off. They were like policing people off the streets of like the Valley and like kind of like Hollywood area and just pushing them towards Skid Row.
And then they've also been letting people out of jail, like smaller offenders. So like, I mean, my car got broken into and I called just to report it. And they were like, you're the 11th call in the last minute. And then like that day when we took the truck out, where every single parking spot, there was just broken glass.
Wow.
It's like, if you're released from jail right now, where are you going to go? It's not like you can sign a lease or
they're not getting anybody
your income. Yeah. So
there's no option for anybody getting out of jail to even go to a shelter to like even seek help because they can't get into the shelters.
Yeah. And we've noticed, especially Skid Row, just because, you know, I live here and we've been there so often, like, you know, the first week that we went, it was like what it kind of normally looks like. And I go down there every so often to dance stuff out. But
it's progressive.
People, and like, you know, last week when we were there were people that you can tell have not been on the streets for as long, like a little cleaner and nicer look, and they're like, please, no pictures, you know, like, I don't want my family to see me like this, and we're not out there taking photos, but when we were in the Bay, this girl was like, I worked so hard to get off the streets, and this happened, and now I'm back here. And so it's things like that. People don't realize that it's like,
not just the people who were on the streets prior, this is so many more people to be on the streets.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, this is a whole...
Social distancing is also such a massive issue in the homeless communities, especially in LA, because it's a privilege for everyone else to be able to distance. And it's like in Skid Row, like there's hundreds of people lying down the streets, not thousands.
And it's, even they are being, like the other day, it's like, I'm more scared of the people that are not respecting the rules that have the privilege to go home and shower, but like they can't go anywhere else. You know, so getting them masks and sanitizer, like that, you know, they're scared.
Yeah, it's definitely, there's definitely a lot of fear. It's also, it's just a really sad situation.
Yeah.
Just because, like, even seeing cities that I've been to before, like San Francisco, where it's like where like you've been there, you've seen the homeless populations and like their problems that they have there. And then you see it now, and it's just like, wow, like, what the fuck happened? It just looks apocalyptic.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean,
Vegas, driving down an empty strip, I was like, I've had a lot of weird, crazy nights in Vegas. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And so for me to say that is like, I like couldn't speak when we were driving down the strip. I was like,
wow.
And I've definitely wished in Vegas before. I'm like, oh my God, get these people out of here.
Right.
But,
not like this.
Yeah.
The weirdest thing.
So what's the next step for Cult for Good? What is on your plate for the future?
Our next moves currently are just expanding to as many cities as we can, and just kind of bringing on more sponsors, bringing on more partners so that we can get more necessities out to not only people who are at risk and on the streets, but also at risk at home who can't get the supplies that they need, which is why we launched the hand sanitizer and the mask collab with Scummy Bears that Jen set up. Both of those were great. So we're kind of looking to partner with more people that are providing necessities and able to provide necessities in a timely manner, as well as expanding to each of the different states and then kind of going full force with our mask initiative, which is just getting masks to people in need, which is still such a mess.
Yeah, and so back to like getting the elastic, basically we've been able to send out to all these groups that were already making masks. So we've like purchased supplies for them, like antimicrobial fabric. And, you know, I tweeted, I was like, hey, does anyone like have a sewing machine they're not using? And so many people were like, yo, send me an address. Like 5 people bought sewing machines for people.
Oh, great.
It's been almost like crowdfunding kind of operations of like everybody putting talents together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like basically anything that needs to get done, because there are people that want to help, there's people that need help, and there's people that have the ability to help. So it's like, you know, our main mission obviously is getting everything on the streets, but then we're also really trying to like connect the dots for people and just be this hub of resources. And, you know, because every day things change, you know, we were going to do a campaign with the Red Cross and like, we're still in talks with them. And the day we started talking to them, they were in a blood crisis. And then 2 days later they weren't.
Yeah.
And blood only has a shelf life of 56 days. So they were like, can we call you when we're getting to that point again? Because now we have enough appointments booked, you know?
I remember when that was happening too. I wanted to go give blood, and I went to go set up an appointment, and it was like, we're full.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's
awesome.
good, but...
Neither of us can give blood. I'm on the phone, like, talking to them, and I'm, like, talking about how Elijah's, like, you know, bought gay hell, and, like, then they're like, I was like, oh, they don't take gay blood, but then they overturned that, but only for 3 months, and they were kind of like, is that good enough? And so, like, they're like, you know, you can make kind of sarcastic videos, so that's kind of cool. It's been really awesome because
a little on everybody else's side.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been really cool because we just worked with so many different agencies and like seeing who really is trying to do something. And there's so much red tape for these government agencies that we can get around. And so I think that's like another thing too, you know, it's like anyone that is having trouble sourcing stuff, like if we can source it for them, we will.
Yeah.
Yeah, which has been like a major thing for in the beginning was a lot of smaller shelters in cities like that we can't hit or like they were just like out of the way type thing, and had smaller homeless populations, but were able to shelter their homeless. We were just sending like packs of like 1,000 boxes of soap type things to them, like diapers, baby food, just kind of like having them send us lists and like sending out supplies so that we're not only getting the community we're able to drive directly to, but also the shelters that are doing what they can do right now because they can't do much. And they were saying one of the shelters, I forget the name of it. It was one of the first ones we did it to, was going to have to close like pretty soon after that, and had to do like a massive fundraiser, and they were like had no supplies left, and it's just crazy to see how even like shelters and people that are funded are running out of everything now.
Well, it never stops, you know. It's like I think everyone got used to this weird 7-day news cycle, 24 hours, and this story came and went. Now we're moving on to the next thing. It's like,
yeah, no, that is actually really interesting to think about. Yeah, it's like everybody's so used to everything being so quick and so fast and then just gone, and this is like lasted for so long.
Honestly,
yeah.
When all the Australia fires were talking, and I know that we work in entertainment, and I'm like, I know we make all of our like revenue off of international touring, but fuck, we all just need to chill for a year.
Yeah.
Reduce our carbon footprints. Promoters book local artists only. There is enough resources out there. Like factories can fucking stop. Like everyone could have food. Everyone can have everything. And like there didn't really need to be like a deadly pandemic. You know, like that was not part of my like we all should chill for a year plan. But I think that, and trying to look at the bright side of this, it's like, you know, Amazon Prime is like, you'll get it in 2 weeks. And we're so used to instant gratification and instantly being able to solve everything and get whatever we need. And that's not for anyone a possibility right now. So it's like really learning how to like be resourceful.
Yeah, it hasn't been, I wouldn't say hurdles, but it's definitely been like finding new resources, being able to like finding new ways of doing things rather than the shit we've been doing for years or that we're used to, that we're also
it's like, okay, we can't bulk order anything on Amazon Prime, or like the grocery stores are out of water. Okay, what businesses can we go to and buy their supplies for their clothes?
Want something off of a website.
Yeah. And then also another thing that has been like not a roadblock, but it's like delivery tomorrow, delivery delayed to the next day, delivery 7 days later. So, you know, it is what it is, and you just got to go with it. And
yeah, it'll come eventually.
Yeah, maybe.
All this said, what is the best way for people to help the Cult for Good? I understand that not everyone can get out there and start handing out supplies in their communities as far as being safe is concerned, but what is the best way to help the mission if people want to and can help?
Yeah, so right now we're trying to keep as many people off the streets as we can in the house. So we're just spreading the word, kind of donating, retweets, tweeting the links, kind of just we're making like info videos type.
Cool. We've had so many like artists reach out. I've had so many artists reach out to me and be like, hey, like we're gonna send you all the profits of our stream, which is amazing. And artists that have donated merch that we've been able to get to shelters. So it's like we can't really take like small donations. If someone is like, I have one blanket, just because that's, you know, like a mass met like a bunch of, you know, packages and germs. But like anyone that reaches out that has any way to help. And the other thing is like, I have someone advancing masks. So everyone that we, you know, send elastic to, they're getting daily counts of the masks, where they're going, who's updated, who's in need. You know what I mean? So on a logistical level, like we definitely have solid volunteers, but if there's anyone else that has that skill set and wants to help, I can definitely like assign them, you know, we're advancing supplies, not festivals this season.
I like that. So is the best way to get in touch with you about something like that on Twitter or social media or an email or through the cults?
All of the above. You can reach out to us on the website. There's, you know, little forms to fill out. There's also press@cultforgood.com, which, you know, you can email that. We'll get it. And social media, we're both always on it. So if you want to get in touch with us, there's a million ways, and
you'll find them.
We're making ourselves pretty available. We have nothing else to do right now.
I feel that.
We got so much to do right now.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Elijah won't let me put plur in the mission statement, but like, it's fine. Once like this is over, he's in the government. We've like done all that. Also, we're taking over FEMA and renaming it plur.
I mean, this is the most plur thing you could do.
Not the Cult for Good endorse statement, but like it's gonna happen.
Yeah, for sure. FEMA needs to embrace plur anyway. That's what it's all about.
That's what it is. That's all it is. And I don't know where they are, but like the rave community has been so amazing. Like Lunatics, the glitter company, like she gave us all our sanitization stuff that she had bought for EDC. She's doing 25% of all purchases to us. You know, a lot of brands have like done that just because it is a hard time for people to donate, but they also want to help. And it's especially for a group of people that are affected so hard, to really be like, hey.
What we've been able to do is with the sourcing and the hand sanitizers, the masks with Scummy Bears, that's another way people can help. They can donate by getting the necessities they still need.
I was just going to bring that up. So if you buy a mask or hand sanitizer, that goes toward giving a mask and hand sanitizer.
We're trying to set up as many ways as we can to where we know everybody is tight on money. So it's like, obviously, most people can't just like donate. So we're trying to find as many ways as we can that people can help. And because there's so many people who want to help. I've never seen this many people want to actually help with like anything.
Yeah.
So, with it. Because normally people are like, oh my God, yeah, I want to help. And then I'm like, okay, here's what you can do. And they're like, yeah, no, okay, bye.
Everybody's like, yeah, no, we want to help. Like, this is serious. And we're like, people have hearts.
Yeah. Shocking. Who knew?
That's amazing. I am heartwarmed by this story. I appreciate that you guys put this together so quickly and have really 500,000 supplies and counting, more than that at this point.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting yourselves out there, and thank you for joining me here today. Is there anything else that you want to say before I let you guys go and take my next call?
Thank you for having us. Thank you for bringing us to the beach today.
Yeah, I know, right? It's been a while since we've all been able to go outside and go to the beach. So.
And for the people that are going to the beach, stay the fuck inside.
I know.
Like,
on Zoom.
Yeah, just Florida, go to the beach
so
here.
like we're like in the two states of like, you know, some really dumb people, but
it's actually a really good way of being on a Florida beach. Just turn on your TV and then just like, you know.
Yeah, throw some sand in your own face or salt, pretended sand.
I got a lot of glitter.
Pretended.
I normally don't like getting thrown with glitter, but you know what? On the streets to the kids, giving them like the glitter from Lunatics, like they have like the glitter stickers, and like, you know, this guy's like, can I get a pack for my daughter? And like being able to like give fun stuff like that. Or there's girls that would be like, oh my God, your hair. And I'm like, do you want some like glitter? And it's just something that's extra and nice, where it's like, here's not just what you need, but here's something to make you smile. And
right.
This girl that I went to college with in Berkeley, like had a whole group of people write handwritten encouraging notes. And
that's so sweet
that's
too.
something that we're going to be expanding on, right? And like those little things where it's like we didn't even think of that, and like I was like, oh my god, this is the nicest thing I've ever read. And it's like
teared up. I was like, oh my god.
So we're in the next like week launching where people can upload notes onto our site, and then we're gonna send them like to hospitals for nurses as well as people on the street, just because in the hospitals now, like mental health amongst the doctors is now a big issue.
Yeah, they're just tirelessly working.
It's so many of my friends, because that's, you know, originally when I hit up, I was like, okay, we're gonna turn festival venues, like we know big groups of people, we're gonna do drive-through testing, like venue locations are spread out, they got resources, you have to be a certain distance from a hospital, we all got our emergency plans, like, you know, and luckily we're not at the point where we need that yet. But so I've been talking to a bunch of people that I know that are residents, and those are really the people that are hit the hardest. And it's like they already have 80-hour work weeks, and they're being put directly on the front line, and they're still not even, you know, full doctors trying to pay off their debt, and they're like writing their wills.
That's
really bad.
Stunning in the worst way.
Yeah.
But everyone who's watching, go donate to Cult for Good. Buy a mask, Scummy Bears. They're really cute. Actually, I've seen Jen wearing them. Get some hand sanitizer that gives back.
I'm going to send you a rainbow one.
Oh, I would love that. Let me buy it, though. I'm going to buy it so that I can buy someone else a mask.
We love
Just
that.
pick the rainbow one out for me, and I'll send you some money.
Got you.
Thank you so much, Jen, Elijah. It was such a pleasure talking to you guys today. I hope you stay safe out there.
Stay safe as well. Have a good time at the beach.
Yeah.
Talking to you.
Be careful. Put on some sunscreen.
I know. I was just thinking that.
You want to protect yourself.
I should have had a big white nose. That would have been even better.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye. Enjoy the rest of your
I don't know how to
day.
end this, so I gotta wait to the beach.
I'll figure it out.
What the fuck is this doom? All
right, y'all. I'm serious about that. You guys need to go to cultforgood.com. The link is in the chat. Thanks to John Marco. And you need to donate to Cult for Good. Buy a mask. Buy some hand sanitizer. It goes to a good cause. I'm going to do that as soon as this is done. If you're still in the giving mood, feel free to donate a little bit of money my way. Subscribe to the channel. You know, I'm trying to make this a little bit better every single time. And I'm enjoying having 2 chats. You know, that was only part 1. Now we're going to have part 2, Jubilee. If you're not familiar, she is my girl. She is Miami-born and bred. She lives in New York City now. She's a part of the MixPak family. And I first met Jubilee, we were working at Thump together, R.I.P. Thump. It used to be the dance music vertical at Vice. And we were both contracted to write a series of stories about Miami's music history. And I think she might have done the Miami-based article. And I was like, who is this girl with all the Miami-based knowledge? And it's Jubilee. She's like an absolute stunner on the decks. Her latest album, Call for Location, is out now on MixPak. And before I give her a call, I'm going to play her music video, Wine Up, featuring Hood Celebrity. It definitely looks like Brooklyn out here. Got some sweet dance moves. Check it out. Wine up, wine up, your body, wine up. Are you moving on the screen for There you are. Okay. On 0 for all this in a scary way. Everyone I know who's actually quarantined in New York, like, I haven't been outside in 3 weeks.
No,
and
we don't go outside.
Yeah.
And when you do, you're like, I shouldn't be out here.
Which is so creepy compared to regular New York City, where I always see you on Twitter talking about, like, oh, the Dominican parade is outside my block today.
That's another thing. It's like, how is this even going to work? Because it's always like a crowd of people, and I live in Midtown, so I'm like, how is it gonna leave? But we'll see. Every day is different, you know.
Yeah.
So we've just been watching a lot of TV. I've been actually cooking more than I ever have in my entire life.
Nice.
Literally, I cooked probably more in the past 6 weeks than ever in my life, ever.
I saw you were attempting some Cuban food the other day. You put like 18 olives in something.
I have nailed it. I have nailed Picadillo.
What's the secret? Share with us.
Well,
Share with the class.
You know what it is? It's olives. I mean, for me anyways, when I was young, like, I always used to go to Puerto Sagua, like, when I was, like, going to raves and partying on South Beach.
Yes.
And then,
we're going to talk about that, by the way.
Yeah. So I always, like, that was, like, my Cuban party spot. It opened pretty late, right?
Yeah. I mean, everything in my...
Yeah, I don't remember. But anyways, and, like, and then, like, my friend's mom would make it for us. And, like, it was just kind of my, like, go-to dish. So when I moved to New York, like, years ago, there wasn't a lot of Cuban food around. And I was like, I need to, like, figure out how to do this one thing because I want it.
Yeah.
You know? So, and it's funny, I always used to go to Puerto Sagua, but this was, like, literally in the late 90s. And, like, I never knew what it was called because, like, I just knew it was this Cuban spot on Washington. Yeah. And then, like, when I got older, I was like, God, I wish I could remember what that place was. And then one day, like, maybe 10 years ago, I went in there during conference, and I was like, wait, this is the spot.
This is it.
Yeah. So
I know
weird.
these tablecloths. No.
I had no idea. It was just the like, mom and pop shop, you know?
That's so awesome. Where in Miami did you grow up, actually?
I grew up in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, same. Same, girl, same.
Yeah, I grew up there, but in Parkland. I didn't grow up in Parkland. I grew up in Coral Springs. Mm-hmm. But when I was young, I had to go to Miami, like, every night.
Why did you have to do that?
Because raves were there.
Because waves?
The raves were there. They weren't in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
So I was like, and my parents let me go even on school nights as long as I went to school.
That's awesome.
So,
same. Yeah. My mom had the same rule. That's so weird.
Yeah.
Like,
she was like, go every day and do whatever you want.
Yeah. No, Jamie's saying Coral Springs. What up? Coral Springs.
Hey.
Lots of Florida people in the chat for sure.
Yeah, I can't see the chat, but hi guys.
My mom was the same way. It was so crazy. Like, she didn't care when I would come home, but the minute I woke up and I was like, Mom, I'm sleepy. I don't know if I want to go to school today. She'd be like, well, then I guess you're not going out to parties anymore.
Right. And also another thing that my mom made me do before I was allowed to go, I had to write like a 10, 15 page paper on what drugs do to your brain.
What? That's amazing. Did it work?
And they were like, well, kind of, because I had to drive an hour to go to these things. So, like, I liked it enough to, like, not get fucked up because I was driving alone. All my friends were there already at the party, and I was, like, the weird Broward person. So, like, I actually, like, didn't really... I did when there was, like, a group of us and it was, like, a big rave. But, like, I didn't do it because I was driving every night for a long... Like, it was, like, 45 minute drive, you know? So I was pretty, like, careful about that.
On the Sawgrass Expressway? Which you have a track called?
Let me tell you, if you make that wrong turn on Sawgrass Expressway, you... have to drive to Naples.
You're done. You're done. Give up.
That's a classic Florida highway mistake that, like, everybody knows. I would take the Sawgrass, but I actually would just mostly take I-95, which I also have a song called I-95, so just so you know.
Yeah, I know. Everyone who's from Florida should honestly be the biggest Jubilee fan because you are representing so hard out here. I love it.
That's why all my music is based on driving, and the titles of them are a lot of highways. It's literally because that was my life. I was driving. And then, like, the song Opalaka, like, when you reach that sign, and I know you know because you're from Broward, when you reach that sign that says Opalaka, you're like, oh, I'm almost there.
Yeah, the party started. I mean? Get the more energizing jungle on.
Right, beat camp.
What do you remember about the raves back in those days? Let's have a little rave nostalgia. Were they like at clubs? Did you do any weird Everglades parties? Like,
yeah, I did it all. There were like these crazy after parties in Johnson Park with like giant nitrous tanks and like,
whoa,
like it was actually pretty wild that was going on like a Saturday afternoon after a rave.
Florida's weird, man, in the best way.
Also, there were a lot of parties in like empty storefronts. A lot.
Yeah. All those
you
weird
would come
front
out
stores.
at like 9 a.m. and old people would be like shopping at Publix next door, and you would just be like, "This is too much." Like,
it's so wonderful, though. I miss that vibe. We need that energy back after quarantine is over, and we got all these like empty stores, and people are trying to figure out how they're going to make their money back. Like, just throw a rave in it.
I mean, that's like if in New York, there's a lot of empty storefronts because you know. And I always, like, that's my first thought. Like, any big store, like, you walk by and you're like, there could be a rave in there. I'm like the, like, rave version of you could put your weed in there.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, there could be a rave in that open. When American Apparel closed, I was like, that's so many raves.
Yes.
You know?
And, like, kind of honoring American Apparel's past a little bit.
Right.
If you have
Totally.
a rave in it.
Yeah.
It's
totally.
appropriate. When did you move to New York exactly? After high school, I guess?
I moved to New York in 2003. And
cool time.
I was super young. There was no social media. There was like MySpace was like just popping off.
Yeah.
And
we were all
Friendster.
meeting Tom for the first time.
Yeah, we were all meeting Tom. And that photo will like be engraved in our brain.
I know.
And
if she doesn't know Tom, she's too young for you, bro.
Totally. Tom's like so happy he has nothing to do with anything right now.
Yeah, I know. Tom is chilling.
But yeah, I was there. I met people in real life. I actually was really heavy on drum and bass message boards.
Of course, because you were a Floridian. That's the way it went down.
I met a lot of people through that. So there wasn't social media, but there was like music message boards.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out DOA and Breaky Science forever. And through that, I met a lot of cool people that I'm actually still friends with right now.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then I did move to Miami for like a year. I moved back in like 2011. It's 2012 just to work on music and like, I don't know, New York. Sometimes you just need to leave New York.
Yeah, I feel that.
You know?
My girl Jordan over here is shaking her head too because she's had to leave New York a couple times in her life.
You just do. Like, I get it. I get when people leave, but they will also be back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, I wound up moving back, but like, it wasn't on purpose. Like, I just had to come back and do some things. And then that got extended. And then I rented out my friend's room. And then this opened up. And like, I wound up like accidentally moving back. So I've been back here since like 2013, I think.
Yeah. When did you meet up with the MixPak crew? It's a really colorful Caribbean crew you got going on. How did that link up happen?
Well, Dre was my roommate.
Okay, Dre Skull, everyone who may or may not know needs to get educated.
Dre Skull and Star Eyes and I lived in a converted office space loft in Greenpoint with two other people. We each had like 2-3 rooms each.
Very much a creative lifestyle situation, sounds like.
Yeah, also a really shitty way to live in Brooklyn, but like it was during a very big loft time, illegal loft time in it was 2008, 2009. I knew him before that. Actually, I did meet him on the Hollertronics board, which is Diplo's message board.
Oh, yeah, tight.
It was more like I knew of his music and he knew of mine. And you will like the story. So like he would post music on there, and I knew he lived in Brooklyn. And then when he invited me to be his friend on MySpace, Uncle Luke was in his top 8. And I was like, okay, I can fuck with this dude.
Yeah, exactly. That's
like,
a sign.
Because in New York, that's a big deal. Like Miami, everybody loves Uncle Luke, but for somebody in New York to have that, it's like, oh, that's weird. You know?
I had that weird realization about Trick Daddy. Like, I thought Trick Daddy was, like, an icon the world over, and then I started meeting people not from Miami, and I was like, wait, you, like, maybe know, like, that one song, but...
nowhere near as much as he is down there, you know? Like, I mean, he had the hits, and, like, they will be played here.
Yeah,
way more than Two Live Crew would be played, but yeah, he's a Miami guy. He's a 305 Mirror.
Yeah. Exactly.
So so we were friends, traded music a lot, lived together. I had my own digital label. He was trying to figure out how to start MixPak, and Vivian was doing treble and bass. And we were, I mean, we weren't like, we didn't make money off of this. We were just like roaming around this weird loft, like staying up all night, just making tunes and kind of like
I
am
with
each
that.
other on iChat. Like, hey, can you come in this room and check out this bass?
Nice.
So yeah, like it was kind of an organic thing, and then he started MixPak, and we threw a couple parties together. And then when I finished my first solo EP, I was leaving the label that I started because it had like run its course, and he was like, "Why don't you just sign this?" And then it just kind of grew into this crazy thing.
Yeah,
So he's actually, there's a really, for everybody watching this interview, we were MixPak's label of the month for April, or for President Advisor's label of the month. And there's a really, really in-depth story on him.
Oh, awesome.
And like how he started doing what he's doing, how he got into dancehall. It's really good. Vivian Star Eyes wrote it.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to find that. I will share that. If it's YouTube later, below. If it's in the chat, maybe John Marco will find it. John Marco's kind of the king that way. Maybe he'll link it. And that was just this last April.
Yeah, it was just this
this
a couple weeks
month?
ago.
I don't know. It's still April. Okay.
What are people going to do when they can't be total assholes on Cinco de Mayo?
Be total assholes on Cinco de Mayo? I don't know.
In their kitchen.
I kind of hope people at least keep it indoors. I mean, they're going to drink a ton of Corona. Like, I don't know.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that whole thing. Fuck.
Man.
What, where are you in Florida right now?
I am on the beach. No, I'm in Miramar.
Right, you said you were in Miramar. Okay.
Yeah, actually, there was a beautiful rainstorm today. I thought about you and how, I don't know if you missed the rainstorms.
Well, there's one here, but it's not like there.
Yeah, it's not the same. There's this
That's my favorite.
classic Florida man-made lake just outside of the door here, and the wind was just like, I mean, the waves looked like this.
I love it.
It was great. Lasted all
That
20
is my
minutes.
favorite.
John Marco did find it. Check it out.
Thanks,
Shout
John
out
Marco.
Star Eyes. Shout out John Marco. Shout out Resident Advisor.
I love that when it rains, and I love when you go outside and the way the air feels.
Yes, I
like
know.
That swampy ass. Like,
yeah. Well,
like it's my favorite. It's one of
like
my favorite
at
things.
First, you get this nice little like whoosh of cold air.
Yeah.
The temperature drops, and then as soon as it came, it's just like a nice muggy hug.
It's like whenever you get out of the Fort Lauderdale airport, it feels like that and smells like cigarettes.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Such a specific nostalgic.
I'm always like, well, I'm not in California this time. That's
Right.
definitely not
It's
what's
so
happening.
specific. There's like nothing like that smell and like air combo.
Dude, I think that could be a track on album 3, should you ever
know.
feel the need to make it. Just
What
the
do I even call that? What do you
FTL
call
smell? I don't know.
Florida air.
Sell that as like a candle. Like those, do you miss home? Like
Yeah.
hot air
that
and cigarettes.
perfume company that has like whiskey. Like I used to like work for them. And they have like all these
cool.
weird smells, like tobacco and cigarettes. They need to make one of Florida air.
Yeah. Just like a lost dream somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Okay, though, back to your current New York situation. I'm always fascinated by your nail girl. Would you tell the class a little bit about who your nail girl is?
Oh my God, how sad is this situation?
I know, I was going to say, she won't want to show off her nails on the stream. Usually they are popping, y'all.
They're usually popping. Actually, my nail girl, Naomi Nails NYC on Instagram, she is making like little sets.
Cool.
I don't remember who she made them in collaboration with, but she just posted them because all of us are dying. And we're all like, oh my God. And I am doing DJ streams. I kind of need nails. Like, hello.
Yeah.
And so she is, people are ordering them. I actually hit her up last night. I'm like, how do I order this?
Hell yeah.
But she is pretty sick. She's done everyone under the sun's nails she did like every iconic Met Gala look, including Ezra Miller.
Whoa, shut up.
Everyone that got like praise, like she had done their nails. It was just so funny. I'm like, you got every.
That's so awesome. And you've known her for years too, right?
Yeah, I've known her since she moved to America.
Wow.
Like she's sick. Like, she moved to America and made those little things with strips that you rip off with like phone numbers.
Oh yeah, those little like light pole flyers.
She didn't even know English. Like, she got there. She did that. Like, and like, she's kept the same clients. Like, everyone that goes to her, like, out of my friends, we've been going to her since 2 weeks after she moved to America.
Wow.
And like, even though she's so busy, she like always makes time for us.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she killed it.
Gotta hold it down for your day ones.
Yeah.
Madonna can wait.
A very good friend and a very awesome person, so.
That's really cool. Your music is so distinctly influenced by your memories in South Florida. What is it like? I was going to ask if New York has influenced the music that you make in some
definitely.
way.
I feel like the first album I made, After Hours, was like strictly Florida.
Oh my gosh, which everyone should at least, A, listen to it, it's great. B, look at the album art. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
It's like the most 80s Florida thing ever.
They nailed that. They really went with the mood board and rolled with it. And Call for Location is more, I would say, New York and London, and also still Miami.
Yeah, I feel that. The song, Call for Location, it starts with this, like, British dude talking about not wanting to get shut down because it's illegal.
That's a DVA, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Scratcha is my English voice on songs, and I am his American voice.
Shit, that's awesome!
Yeah, if you listen to his album, like, you'll hear me a lot on there, actually.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I love crossover episodes.
Yeah. That, like, I actually made a lot of that album in London. I worked on it a lot. But I spent a lot of time there in the past 2 years. So, and it has a huge influence on the music that I've always made. Like, I've always listened to jungle and grime and even like dubstep. So I feel like that was kind of like a hybrid of everything I had been doing by the time that came out. Yeah. It took 3 years. So it was 3 years of traveling after the first album, you know?
Wow. I know that the process was not your favorite with the second
album.
It
was long. It's so crazy because it was so hard to do while I was traveling and doing all the stuff. And then I finished it and it came out and now I'm home and I have all the time in the world to have done that.
For real.
But I'm like brain dead from it. So it's like really hard. And also, this is not the most inspiring time to be creative. I'm not going to pretend it is.
Yeah.
But it's just funny that like I had to finish this thing while I was like never home and just crazy. And now it's like, you have all this time. And I'm like, cool, glad I finished every project. Like, under so much pressure, you know?
Hey, you've earned this break, okay?
I mean, kind of. It'd be cool to get paid for it, but no one's getting paid for anything right now. So
I know.
Except Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom is making that money, honey.
Yeah.
Zoom is okay.
Totally.
What is keeping you busy though? I know you're starting a Twitch channel. When are you doing that?
I started it, but I'm gonna probably do some streams next week.
Cool.
When I'm feeling up to it. Not sure what time, but probably during the day.
Is it just twitch.tv/Jubilee?
Jubilee DJ.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. You have to search for me because it's a new page, but I'm there, so just add me.
Yes, I will. Yeah.
Added. I've been playing an obscene amount of Animal Crossing.
Yes. Like, I have seen you talking about that.
I'm like embarrassed, but also like who cares? Like what is time?
Yeah.
You know?
No, I have a friend who's in the same boat and it's like, well, what else are you going to do? You can't go outside in the real world. You might as well go outside in an Animal Crossing world.
Yeah.
And Nintendo had no idea how perfect it was, their release schedule. It's almost like
the timing of that couldn't have been crazier. And it's fun. You can still hang out with your friends. You can pay your rent on there. It's easier to make money. It's like you feel like you're actually doing something. I've redecorated my house so many times.
Yeah. Honestly, Nintendo should find a way to turn that currency into real money. Like, if people could pay their rent with their
I mean, I feel like people are definitely playing it on Twitch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And like Yeji has made merch on there.
Oh, that's cool.
Like people are like selling merch and like doing
wow. That's dope. That's what you're going to do next. You should play Animal Crossing on Twitch.
I mean, I kind of want to. But do I need a camera on me for real? Like
you don't necessarily have to. Maybe you just have a mic.
Yeah, that's true. But what else have we... I've been watching a lot of TV that I normally probably wouldn't watch. Like a lot of things that I always see people talk about that like I just had no desire to watch. I still will not watch Game of Thrones. By the way, I do not fucking care. Out
of spite.
Everybody probably just signed off after I said that. I don't know. I've been cooking like stupid things that take a long time because it's soothing.
Yeah.
And
We've
just
been
kind of me and my boyfriend have just kind of been hanging out.
Yeah,
like,
it's nice that you're together.
Yeah, totally. He's been working on a lot of music, and finding it a little bit easier than I am to be creative.
That's cool.
So it's cool to hear like the progression of his. I will eventually get to it, you know.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna end soon.
I have time. I have plenty of time.
Yeah.
We're like, should we buy a GoPro? Should we buy a projector?
Yeah. I'm out here trying new things.
Right now? Yeah.
Wait, speaking of video games, though, you reminded me. I heard that your Full of Curve song was inspired by Yoshi on Mario Kart.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like it reminded me of. I was thinking about Yoshi's Island when I made it.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like the MP3, the file name was like originally called Yoshi.
Oh, that's so cute. I can hear it. When I listen, I can hear it.
But then when I like obviously got vocals on it, I changed the name, so.
Yeah. That one's a banger too. I actually have that set up to play when the stream is over so everyone can get one more. And you know what I did? I synced it up with the Coral City camera feed.
I love that feed.
Because it doesn't have an actual visualizer. Tell everyone about the Coral City camera feed.
Coral City camera is these awesome people that I was already stalking on the internet, and somehow they knew who I was too. And they have this Instagram page. Well, they have Coral City Camera, but it came from Morphologic, which I'm sure a lot of you follow. It's really sick. And they asked me to soundtrack. They have a live. There is a reef in Miami, like in the city, which is
blowing up, vibrant, thriving reef right under the port of Miami, which is
insane if you really think about it. And it's beautiful. And they have like a reef cam right now, and so they've been soundtracking it with music of people that have fitting music to go with it, and it's a super cool project. And the camera is like the fish that are under the port of Miami.
I know, it's gorgeous.
It's so crazy. Like I don't know, it's seeing that that's been done is really special to people like me and Kat, because we are growing up our whole lives probably hearing how important the reefs are. Like when you grow up in Florida, you know what's up.
Yeah. It's true. And it's really cool because in researching, I wrote a story about this for the Miami New Times. Shout out the Miami New Times.
Yeah.
Included Jubilee's mix there. I will include a link. As always. But I heard that they are using that coral is so... it's not affected by all the pollutants in the area, and so they're studying that reef and seeing if they can bring that really sturdy reef to other reefs that aren't so sturdy and help rebuild the coral in the area. So big ups. Is that FIU who's doing that?
I think it was UM. Yeah. I think I read this. I think I read about it the other day.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Look at us. We're so in the know.
Yeah, but it's cool because like as insane of a place as Florida is, and people love saying it. You know, the people have managed to save a lot of things and like environmentally prevent some terrible things from happening. But you know, as much as they can anyways. Like, manatees are not endangered anymore.
Yeah.
And like my whole life they were endangered. We were like, save the manatees, save the manatees, save the manatees, and they're pretty good.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I'm sure they're having a nice spring right now too, with everybody chilling
Oh
inside.
yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are out on their boats, but I feel like the boats now, like, there's so many rules where you have to slow down. Like, it's just kind of stop.
Yeah.
It's cool. And like we've also managed to like create our own species of iguanas and snakes, but and also like Florida panthers. Like, when I was little, there were only like 20 left.
Yeah.
And now there's probably like 200, right?
Yeah. No, they've jumped up a lot too.
Yeah. You see that viral video of that panther eating a squirrel?
No. Drop it in the chat. No.
Yeah. Where's
Marco? Dude, that's crazy. Well, it's funny too because then Tiger King got so big, and I was like, I know these people. Oh
my God, I know.
They even said Lion Country Safari in the first episode, and I was like, dude, I've been there.
When he dropped that, I was like, wait, I still go there. Like every like 2 or 3 years, I'm like, dude, I have to go to Lion Country Safari with my dad. Like, even now.
Yes. That's so good. I love that. So what do you do when you're on tour? When you come back to Miami? I eat sago feta and I go to Lion Country Safari.
Somebody the other day was like, I think that Tiger King was just Netflix, like, putting together, like, all the algorithm things that people like. And I was like, you've clearly never been above West Palm. And then he was like, oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
Because that's everybody there. So.
Exactly. I know. Talk to me about the Magic City compilation. That's kind of like where your head's at right now, no? Or what's going on there?
My head is going more towards label. When I started the compilation, it was 6 years ago.
Wow.
It was 2014. Things were way different. There wasn't a giant Spotify boom. It was exciting to get free MP3s.
Yeah.
You know, like, there was just, the industry was a lot different. So the point of that compilation was to give everybody a ton of free music by very cool people, some of them being bigger and then some of them being up and coming. So hopefully people would download the whole thing and then like have something from, you know, a bigger artist, but also discover a smaller one.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah, so in the beginning, that was the goal. And then as time moved on, nobody cares about a download unless they're a DJ. So you have to put it on Spotify and like all of these things. Mm-hmm. So I am going to still do that. But I do want to put out records now because I think, by the way, I'm Magic City on BandCamp. And tomorrow BandCamp is giving no artist revenue.
Oh, yeah. Wait. They're giving all the money to artists,
right?
Yes,
100%. And I'm not just saying me. If you're gonna go shopping for music, do it tomorrow on BandCamp.
Yeah, have they've been doing that every month? It seems like on the first.
I think, or they did it, and it was like they made so much money. Like, artists made it like so many people bought so much money or
That's awesome.
Songs.
Yeah,
and then they're doing it again, but I think they're gonna start doing it like the first of the month because I think they realize how successful it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's such a good platform. It's like, they're just doing it right. And like, it is only for like indie music and dance music and punk music, but like the artists get the money immediately. Like, it's just and I never really did that because I was giving it away. So I never really like fucked with BandCamp. And then finally, recently, I put it all up because these artists can probably use a couple dollars here and there. Totally. And like, also like, I really think that it's the feature, you know, like I think that website is like it. So
hell yeah. Shout out BandCamp. I've always enjoyed the music. I mean, it's just such a great resource. And I do like that it's so direct.
Yeah, and it doesn't like feed you crazy algorithm music or like there's no dumb charts that like only people look at. Like, it's like purely digging. And
first Friday of every month, John Marco says. Sorry to interrupt you, but that's apparently when they're doing it. Cool.
Yeah. So I think that so now times are different. So I believe that it will develop into a label because I mean, the music industry is a nightmare right now.
Yeah.
But dance music, like, people actually want to spend their money in sport. I have no money right now. I have no money coming in. I plan on going broke tomorrow. And, like, even if, like, someone I know very well sends me their BandCamp link and is like, you can have this for free, I'm not going to download something for free. I'm going to at least put in $1 or
yeah,
like, whatever.
totally.
You know?
I feel the same.
So, like, the system really is for music lovers, and I think that that's really cool. So I'm just trying to go back to the rave and sign some dance music, not care about Spotify, not care about all that stuff, because that's not why I'm here. It happened accidentally, and, like, I was an underground artist and then happened to pay my rent off of it.
Yeah.
Like, I started it way before that was even an option or a possibility, and it grew, and EDM happened, and Paradigm, and, like, those things did not exist when I started.
I know. It was a surprise to all of us.
Yeah. Like, one day I was like, oh, my God, I got fired, but it's okay. You know? Like, so I think I'm just trying to find – there's somebody from Miami that –
I was gonna say, shout out some of the artists you're watching. Who would you like want to put your?
I mean, I don't want to say because I don't want to jinx it, and I'm like, people from Miami have a problem answering emails. And it's much harder to do things with them than everywhere else. I don't know what it is about communication and people from Florida, but, like, I'm, like, hounding this person, like, so where's it at?
Oh my
you
gosh,
know?
yeah.
But there are, of course, some really wonderful artists in Miami right now. I love Nick Leon.
Yeah.
Loca. Like, there's
Space
some,
Tapes.
yeah, like, really cool. Otto, obviously.
Uh-huh. I know. I want to get him on the stream at some point. I think he would be so fabulous.
I just think it's finally, like, it's finally such an interesting, the art finally merged with the music, which doesn't happen as much as you think it would in electronic music, and I think that it's there now. And 3 Points has done a really good job of, like, building a community down there that is like underground music and, like, kids that are excited about music.
Yeah, totally. A new generation of people who are really driven and want to do something cool and, like, want to represent at the same time, you know?
Yeah, and I like, when I went there in 2012 or 2011, that was not happening. And, like, the only parties out there were for me to play were dubstep parties, which were great, but it wasn't understanding what I was doing yet.
Right, a little different, like, from the vibe you're putting down.
Yeah, like, people just, like, weren't, like, it just wasn't there yet, you know? And then, like, Beach Fuzz was starting, and that was sick. And that started a whole world of, like, really cool music, and it's still going, and it has this, like, cute, sexy crowd that, like, never fails.
I know, and Space is totally revitalized as well.
Which is insane to me. Like, but then, like, you know, now there's this younger generation of, like, literally internet kids.
Yeah, internet friends.
are, like, killing it. And then there's, like, Treo Fi making stuff for high school kids. Mm-hmm. So, like, there's a lot going on down there that, like, the people above that have been working, I mean, they've been working on 3 Points for so long, and I feel like it did great, but in the past couple of years, it's really developed into this, like, go-to for international artists that, like, love that festival.
I know. This lineup is banging. I do hope it happens, like, whenever it has to happen.
Just a year later.
Yeah. Honestly, it's funny because when Ultra first said, okay, we're just postponing till next year, I think everyone was like, wow, really? Is that even a postponing? And now it's like, yeah, that was the realest shit.
Yeah. No, I think everybody that rescheduled in October was crazy.
Yeah.
Like where did you get this month from?
Also, you can't have 70 festivals in the same
month.
That
was a whole other, like, everything was moving, and, like, I was just thinking of, like, the radius cause headaches.
Yeah, no.
Like, you know, Coachella, like, you can't play, like, anything.
I know.
You know, so, like, but yeah, you know, next year's our year.
Next year, 2021, baby.
I mean, I don't think what's going on is good at all, but maybe we all needed this reset. And if we didn't need it, we don't have a choice. So
here we are.
Yeah.
We can make the most of it, even if making the most of it is just chilling, playing Animal Crossing all hours of the day.
Fucking sucks, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, you did release a song recently. You released a remix of Bad Juju.
I did. I love that girl. I did release a remix. Jasper Lotti, her name is.
It's a banger.
Yeah, the original is so catchy, and she's just so cool. And you know, I have some other stuff coming out, because the good thing about freelancing and doing art is everything takes so long to come out, and everybody takes so long to pay you.
Yeah.
That a lot of us are just kind of like,
that's the good thing.
I mean, for the first time ever, it's a good thing, because like we still kind of have some stuff coming in that like took forever. You know, it's like the running joke. It's like, who knew Net 30 was going to save my ass right now?
True that. Yeah, that's true.
So that's like my law of the week.
Collect
like,
these paychecks. Glad I did all that work.
Yeah, usually. And like a lot of times when people like me, I'll get paid and then I'll have to buy like 1 million flights. Because like I book like my own travel usually. So like that rotation of stuff, like you're not exactly getting paid. Like you're getting like paid and then you have to like book all your travel. Like it's just like a constant ecosystem of like traveling and working for yourself and having your own
it's a lot, dude.
So now it's just all coming in finally, and you're like, okay, cool. Well, I'm not going anywhere now. I'm not saying a lot is coming in, but I am saying I'm not screwed at the moment.
Yeah.
Ask me in 2 months.
Okay, well, tomorrow definitely buying some shit off your BandCamp.
Cool.
Say it again. BandCamp. Is it Magic City?
It's Magic City.
Okay, cool. Definitely will
BandCamp. Do. Yeah. I think that's it.
Is there anything else that you want to let the people know? Any other little Miami restaurant shout-outs? Any recipes you're trying to get from the internet? Anything that you like?
I got my instant cafe Vistello, actually. And that was like the one thing that I really was like, I was like begging for it on Facebook. I was like, can somebody please send this to me?
Yes.
So I found that at a bodega.
That's so good.
Yeah.
You could tell that bodega, like, please keep stock. Yeah. Keep stock. I need this.
They're cool. If you tell your bodega what's stock, they'll usually do it. Because they know you're going to buy it all out at some point anyways for like way more money. But yeah, just follow my Twitch page. I don't really know what's going on with it yet, but it will happen.
Hell yeah. Well, I will follow you. I will add you on my, there's like a hosting thing. So if I'm not streaming and you're streaming.
Right. There's I don't like, my brain is just like I didn't know we'd be here.
I know, but here we all are. I loved your tweet the other day about like 6 months from now, all these DJs are going to have IT jobs.
Dude, it's like the sisterhood of the traveling IT knowledge. Like I'm like helping people that like after learning things, like everyone's just kind of like helping each other sound check and like,
dude, exactly,
do all the stuff.
It's so real.
For like this one Instagram live stream I have like this burner account that like, 30 of my friends follow, and I have it, and like my friends are like logging in, like, and I'm like sound checking, and I'm like, hey guys, does this sound good? Yeah, it sounds good. Like 5 good friends are just like logged into this stupid
I love it.
Thing.
You got to. All my homies are helping me out too, and if you ever need to know how to put a second video on your OBS, I got you.
Yeah, actually, we'll talk about that because I'm still a little bit like, how does this work?
I got you.
But speaking of, the other person in this household now has a stream to do.
Oh, okay. Well, perfect. Well,
We're
any last thoughts on Call for Location before I play Full of Curve for everyone on the way out?
Yeah, I really loved making the song, and the singer IQ is really cool. And he's out of London. He's Jamaican. He has a really funny Instagram account.
Ooh.
And it was just a good day in the studio. And this girl, Ruby, her artist name is Post Dusk. She's like a noise artist. She engineered it.
Sick.
And it was just, I like made her, because I did it at Red Bull Studios in London. And like we became friends through that. And it was just like, just one of those, there's great studio experiences and there's dreadful ones. And like, that was like a very great day that we all had.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad I picked it to play. I really enjoy it. I think everyone's going to dig it too.
Yeah, for sure. It has nice memories to it.
Thank you so much, Jubilee. Oh, real quick, are you named after the X-Man?
Yes.
Yes!
Sure.
Jubilee was always my favorite. Okay.
The best one.
She was.
She just founded them all.
Oh, yeah. I love it. Okay, just had to get that on the record. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's real.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Bye, BandCamp
Thank you.
stuff. Talk to you
Good
soon.
to talk to you.
It was. Talk to you soon.
Have fun.
Thank you. Bye. All right. Those were our cat calls. Did you guys enjoy? Did you have fun? I'm sorry, I know it was a little bit laggy. Again, my first time using Streamlabs OBS. If anyone has tips and tricks for me, share them with the class. We're all learning new things. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching this on Twitch, I love you. If you find room in your heart or your wallet to subscribe, you would be doing me such a blessing. I am so looking forward to keeping this going. I have so many cool things planned. Next week, we're going to have Justin J. Shout out Ashley. You know about Justin J. I wouldn't even know my friend Ashley if it weren't for Justin J. You'll have to come through for that one. The week after that, I can say we're going to have Jay Wara on the show. Very excited about having her come through. And I've got a lot of really other exciting guests that I haven't quite locked in yet, but I know they're down. Thank you for the follow, Celia42. Much appreciated. And, you know, if you want to catch the episodes that have already happened, we had Drulu, we had DJ Craze, another Miamian. Last week we had Gary Richards, Destructo, and those episodes are all uploaded every weekend to my YouTube page, youtube.com/catbine, exactly as it is here on Twitch. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like to see more of, who you'd like to have on the show. Submit questions. This is an interactive activity between us. It's not just me, it's you too. And you can find me on Twitter at CatSaysKill, on Instagram at CatSaysKill, and on Venmo at CatSaysKill as well. In case you want to just blow me a kiss. Maybe $1, maybe $2, maybe $5. I don't know. So in closing, thank you so much for rocking with me on another Cat Calls. And we're going to vibe out and the show with Full Curve because it's a banger. Enjoy. I love you. Bye-bye. Cultforgood.com. Drop money. Buy shit on BandCamp tomorrow. I love you. Stay golden.